I just want to make sure that we are right. So. Hope y'all had a good holiday. That's what I was looking for. That's what. Okay, there we go. We good. Yeah. Yeah. Labor Day, baby. Power Monday. Everything good. At least I hope it is. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's Power Monday, but being as though it's the holiday, people might be all partied out. We're gonna see. But tonight, on a Daily Go Get-Emism show, we are talking about why it matters whose name is on the lease. Yeah. 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 Yeah, first of the month, huh? Who got their checks today? Anybody get paid? Anybody got some barbecue left over? Some cookout food? Care to share? Don't get stingy with me. Sun 7. The DG show, baby. Daily Go Get-Emism. Why? It matters whose name is on the lease. Hit the like button, y'all. Don't be stingy with the likes. Yeah. So, how many of y'all have lived with somebody before? You know, that's not something you should do without thinking about it seriously beforehand, even though people do it all the time like it ain't nothing, like there are no consequences, but there are. So tonight, We're going to talk about why it matters whose name is on that lease. And it ain't always about the money. Marissa Allberg. What's up, Rissy? What's good? Word. Yeah. As we get started, here we go. One like though? That's tragic. Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. It's the daily go-getter-mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about why it matters whose name is on a lease tonight. What do y'all know? What do you know about meeting somebody, possibly falling in love with them, hooking up with them, getting close to them, deciding that you don't want to be away from them any longer, so y'all decide to shack up a little bit, move into each other's places a little bit. You have to choose your place or mine, your place or mine. A lot of times one person doesn't have their own place, so it's probably a good idea that one move into the other's place. After all, you have to have a place to be able to be moved in if you're going to actually partake in that type of activity. But we're talking about cohabitation, baby. We're talking about cohabitation. And that ain't for everybody. But when it's for you, it's for you. But you learn a lot about a person when you move in with them. As a matter of fact, I'll say that you can't learn more about a person than living with them, seeing how they live, finding out how they sleep, their hygiene habits, cleanliness around the crib, whether they are considerate, courteous, whether they are moody. See, when you don't live with a person, you may be able to gauge their moodiness, but not like you can gauge it when you wake up with them in the morning, go to sleep with them at night, and are around all day with no breaks in between. Well, I shouldn't say no breaks because, you probably have to work, go to the store, run errands, things like that. So you're probably not up under each other all day, but you are around each other enough to see how people's moods attitudes. And really, you know what else you find out about a person when you move in with them? You find out about their health issues. You can hide a lot of health issues when you don't live with somebody. When you live with somebody, you see what kind of medications they take. You see if they have substance abuse problems or if they, yeah. But tonight, we are talking about why it matters whose name is on the lease. Let me get my hardware out of the way for a minute. Well, it's going to be a lot of minutes because we're not bringing it back, but you understand what I'm saying. Hit the like button. Y'all stop being stingy. Sheesh, it's bad enough. Y'all just moseying on in here tonight, but that's okay. You know what I mean? It ain't the way you start, it's the way you finish. And I know that. I know that, you know that, we know that. Hopefully, you know that. Okay. We good. Who is that? Maritza and name. Your name is just name? Okay. All right, name. It is what it is. It is what it is. It looks like it's just going to be me and you tonight, Ritzy, but that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, so like I said, when you live with somebody, you find out a lot about them, some of the things that they may have tried to hide, some of the things that they are uncomfortable with people knowing. You know, you're going to see all of those things up close and personal. You know, when I talk about the whole attitude thing, people can prepare themselves for you if they know that they're only going to see you at certain times and certain places for a certain amount of time, you know? But you know, when somebody is coming through that door and they're going to be in that house until they go to work or leave to do whatever it is that they do the next day, that's when you get a broader view of how people are, of who people are, and how they do. I'm sorry, something over here caught my attention. I gotta get that fixed. It's all good. Yeah, that's when you really get a bird's eye view of how people are and the way that they do things and how they really like things. And there really ain't no playing around with it, especially since you're in a situation where y'all going to be splitting bills and things like that. If that's the agreement that you have. Not everybody that lives together has made an agreement about what this person is going to pay versus what that person is going to pay. Really, both of you are tenants. Both of you are tenants. But the way that the place is set up is going to tell a lot about the relationship that y'all have. For example, if somebody invites you to move into their place, it may be taken for granted if y'all don't communicate with each other up front about expectations. If somebody asks you to move in with them, you may think that, okay, they're asking me to move in, so that means that they're going to pay everything, and I'm just going to be in here chilling. You know what I mean? Like I'm in here, you know, doing whatever I want to do, keeping my money to myself, running up bills. If I'm not working, I'm going to be home all day. So if it's cold outside, I'm in the heat, running the heat all day. And if it's hot outside, then I might be in the house running the air all day, running up bills. And if nobody ever says anything up front about how the living arrangement is going to be, when you ask me to move in with you, I might take for granted that, I'm just here. I'm the star of the family here. And I'm the one, I'm just doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it. What up, Oakland? What's good? T. Carey, right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. What's good? But yeah, so when we say that it matters whose name is on the lease. Yeah, it might not matter whose name is on the lease until it really matters whose name is on the lease. Because whoever's name is on the lease is the one that carries the legal responsibility. They're the ones who who the landlord is going to be looking to pay the bill. And the bill is the rent. The bill is the rent. So if your name is on the lease, if you don't pay the rent every month, the landlord is going to go through with eviction proceedings against you, not whoever is not on the lease. Another thing about whoever's name is on the lease is that you have to read your lease, because there may be restrictions on your lease about who can spend the night, who can live there. Like when you move into a place, let's say you move into an apartment, they want to know how many children you have. They can't discriminate against you because you have children, but what they can do is say that this is only a 2-bedroom apartment. So 3 people can't live in the apartment. They might say that unless the 3 people are like a man and a woman, let's say a couple. So they're using 1 bedroom, and the children will use the other 2. Now, if you move into a 2-bedroom apartment and you told the landlord that you only have 2 kids, but you really have 5 kids, well, now you violated the lease. The children haven't violated the lease. And whoever's name is not on the lease hasn't violated the lease. So you're going to be the one that has to either bite the bullet for having more occupants in the place than was reported. So you have violated the lease. You can be sued. You can be put out. They can start eviction proceedings, or they can charge you extra rent per person. Some leases are set up that way. So it's something to take into consideration when you are lying on an application about who you are. Plank says Philly, bruh. Yeah, you know it. What? My Philly accent is coming through? People say I don't have no Philly accent. I think I do. But they always be like, yo, you from New York? I be like, I'm not. Oh, let me say New York like Philly niggas say New York. You from New York? You from New York? I don't know why they say it like that. Yeah, he from New York. Them New York niggas. Like, what is a yerk? What is that? Well, I don't know. But anyway. So yeah. So whoever's name is on the lease is the one that carries the financial responsibility. That's the one that the landlord is going to be looking for when it's time to pay the bill, baby. When it's time to pay that bill, the landlord is coming to look for whoever's name is on the lease. So whoever's name is not on the lease can get out of there scot-free. Like, well, this ain't working out. You about to get evicted? Well, I'm gonna go back and live with my mom or whatever. I'm gonna go. I'm be on my grandmama in her basement. I mean, you can come over, but you can't stay. You know what I mean? My grandma don't like a lot of people to go, oh. Yeah, that's what the person who is not on a lease can do. So the person who's not on the lease has some leeway. Not leaseway, but they have some leeway. Hit that like button, y'all. Do me that one favor. Please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. But listen, hitting the like button, the likes help the channel, and the channel needs help. So we're talking about why it matters whose name is on the lease, because it does. Whoever's name is on the lease has the power of the place. So if you have a situation where somebody is well, let's say you are in a power control situation. Somebody is acting like they have something over on you, or like they running shit when it comes to you. Well, your name is on the lease. So you can make your own move and put a person out of your place if you don't want them living there. But there are some issues associated with just trying to put somebody out of your crib. And those issues are more than just emotional. Like, just because your name is not on a lease does not mean that you don't have any legal rights as far as residency, occupancy. You know what I'm saying? So when they tell you to get out of the place, when they tell you to, yo, pack your shit and get the fuck out, or when you come home from work or out on a Saturday night and you see all your shit packed up and on the curb, because, you know, somebody got tired of your shit. And it's not always the female that got tired of somebody. Men have kicked women out of their place. Women have kicked other women out of their place. It happens. It happens. And this is when whoever's name is on the lease really starts to matter. It starts to matter a lot. Blue dude, what's up, blue dude? What's good? All right. Let others find this. It says hello from Boo Cake. What? Is that Bukkake? I don't know. It probably is Bukkake, Japan. Really? Well, what up with Bukkake, Japan? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about tonight, yo. Why it matters whose name is on the lease. I mean, it should matter to you. It should matter to me. Oh, man. Kapump says, let's go Mets. I mean, I can't stand the Mets. I can't stand the Mets. Can't stand the Yankees. Can't stand the Islanders. Can't stand the Rangers. Can't stand the Giants. Can't stand the Jets. Can't stand the Knicks. Can't stand the Nets. Anything else? All New York teams suck. And I hate them all. Well, the Yankees don't suck. What they got, like 27 World Series? It's kind of hard. Anyway, my man Jay Sloan is in the house. My man Jay Sloan, what's good? Oh, look up. That's what's up, Jay. See, my man be on that shit. There ain't no such thing as no goddamn Bukkake. Bukkake. He trolling. It's all right. It's all right. I ain't mad at it. It be like that sometimes. It be how it be, and it go how it go. But yeah. Why it matters whose name is on the lease. If you ever been put out of a place, if you ever been put out of somebody's place, or somebody has been threatening to put you out, you know, if you don't do this, that, and the third, or whatever, which is sort of like tenant bullying. That's sort of like tenant bullying. You know what I'm saying? Residential bullying. You don't get your shit together, I'm putting you out. Private society, what's it? Sci official? All right, cool. What's good? And Kapump says the Yankees' best player is Ron Jeremy. It's a different kind of Yankees. All right, cool. Marissa says it's so dangerous whose name is on the list. Dangerous? Why would you say it's dangerous? I didn't know there's danger in signing on a dotted line. Is it true? Could it be true? Is there any way that could be true? Is there truth associated with that? I don't know. I don't know if it's dangerous to have your name on a lease. It can be dangerous not to have it on the lease. I'll tell you straight up and down. If you are a deadbeat, if you are a runaway, if you are irresponsible, if you are flighty, then it's best for you not to have your name on the lease, because you can always just break out. You know, like if it ain't working out, you don't want to pay shit. You don't want to do nothing. You don't want to carry the weight. You don't want to contribute. You can walk away from the lease and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Simple and plain. You know, if you're the type of person that likes to couch surf or that takes advantage of people, takes advantage of people's kindness, you know, yeah, not having your name on a lease is the way to go. And if you have bad credit, not having your name on a lease is probably the way to go, because it might be hard for you to get a place anyway, because most real estate places who rent apartments check your credit to see if you're the type of person who pays their bills. So it might be really hard to get your own place. If you don't pay your bills. Now, some places, some realtors or whatever, management, property management places and things like that, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll check your credit report, but they may only associate themselves with places that you've lived. So if you've never lived anywhere, that might be a red flag and you might not be able to get a place. But if you live somewhere and they can see that you have been evicted, if you have evictions on your credit report, and evictions will be on your credit report, straight judgments, then they have the discretion of denying you residency in a place. So you might be there like, yo, I got all the money. I got 2 months security, 1 month's rent. Matter of fact, if you give me a chance, I'll pay you 3 months security and 1 month's rent. And for like a private landlord, you might be able to go ahead and do that. They might, take the chance because, landlords figure, well, with 3 months rent, I might be able to, like, even if they mess up the place, I might be able to get it fixed for this much. Even though if you really think about what it costs to rehabilitate a place that somebody is trashed, vandalized, and totally disrespected, you might think twice. You might really, really think twice. But yeah, the reason why is so if you're an irresponsible person, if you're a flighty person, if you are a negligent person, if you are just a straight asshole, or somebody who really just will not conform to other people's rules, regulations, requests, it's probably best that you don't put your name on a lease. That's one way of looking at it, because if you are in a position to leave and go find somewhere else without any obligation or without any consequences of leaving a place because you're not breaking the lease, because you're not on a lease. But on the flip side of that, if you are an asshole who pays your bills and you like to have power over people, it's probably best that you have your name on the lease, because that might be the best way to avoid getting kicked out and being put out of an apartment, getting evicted from your house or apartment. That ain't no fun. That ain't no fun. Having the utilities shut off, gas, electric, water, cable, phone, that's one thing. But getting, when the sheriff or somebody from the sheriff office, like the tenant landlord officer, when he roll up to your crib and he knock on your door and you answer the door and they immediately they tell you have this is an eviction. You have 10 minutes to get your shit and get the fuck. Sometimes if they're mean, they really mean 10 minutes. So you're like, I can't get all my stuff in 10 minutes. I gotta wait for somebody to bring a truck. Nope, we ain't waiting for all of that. And somebody immediately starts changing the locks. They start changing the locks that's the first order of eviction. I've attended a lot of eviction. I've performed a lot of evictions over my day. in my day. It's not a nice thing to have to do. But I either have to feed my family or let them live free and let them feed their family. I choose, to get by. So, yeah. So the first thing you do is start changing the locks. Surely, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Surely, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, my good to see, some me, some you. Appreciate you too. Yeah, you know how we do. So yeah. It matters whose name is on the lease. If you're an asshole or overbearing, manipulative, control freak, you need to have your name on a lease. So, by show of participation, how many of y'all have lived with somebody else? Please put that in the comments. How many of y'all have lived with somebody, like a romantic partner? Or, let's go with that first. A romantic partner, your man or your woman. How many of y'all have shacked up before? How many of y'all have shacked up, like that's moving in before marriage? Because marriage does not apply in this situation. Although I've known some grimed out married folks that tried to pull this mess. Yeah, I get it. I get it. When enough is enough, enough is enough. I get it. Jason says, done that again and again and again. All right. So when you moved in, when you and your girl, your woman, when y'all moved together, was it, if you've done it again and again and again, was it mainly you moving into her place, her moving into your place, or y'all getting a place together fresh? Getting a place together fresh is probably the best way to go. And I have to say probably, because a lot of people move in with each other. A lot of couples move in with each other without really knowing each other. It happens all the time. And there are pluses and minuses to both, to having your name on a lease and to not having your name on a lease. There are pluses and minuses to both. Trust me, there are pluses and minuses to both. And I'm not going to say that there are more pluses in one way or minuses in the other way. I can't really say. But what I will say is that it's a lesson to be learned, and it'll be one that you will not soon forget. That's what I'll say, because that's an actual fact. Yeah. You will not forget when you have a negative experience moving in with somebody or living with somebody. Those are the experiences you never forget. But everybody doesn't learn on the same scale and the same time frame. So some people will move in with each other again and again and again, not with the same person, but in the same way, expecting a different result. Is it insanity? Only if playing the lottery is, and I don't think it is. What they say, the Powerball now is $1 billion. Jesus says all of the above at various times, but I will say this: not being on a lease or deed is not something I recommend, especially if you and the other party are not rock solid. No doubt. Look, Dan P says, show us your ankle monitor. An ankle monitor. Where can I get an ankle monitor this time of night? Anybody know? Anybody know? Tell you what, I can show you an air tag. Apple or Android. Did you know Android has air tags too? They do. They don't call them air tags, but they perform the same function. Steven, 87, says he's saying you a criminal. Ha ha. Obviously a fool. I guess that's OBVS. Is that obviously? I don't know. Yeah. I knew that he was trying to say I was a criminal. But how would he know if I was a criminal or not? How does he know that I haven't had my record expunged? How does he know I've ever committed a crime? I don't know. But I don't have an ankle monitor. Let's see. Should I show my ankles? Nah. I'll leave it up to his imagination. Like, wait a minute, maybe he really does have an ankle monitor. An ankle monitor. Well, to have an ankle monitor, you would have to be on house arrest. So I must not be that bad of a criminal if I can make house arrest. Yeah. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eyes are on a sparrow, and he watches over me. Oh, man. Dan says, I know you're on house arrest. Tell me how you know. What the hell? So Steven says, nah, Dan might get excited whipping out his excited about you whipping out your ankle, bro. You right. We not no ankle motion. You know what I'm saying? He might get excited over foot cleavage or something like that. We don't want that. Mr. J Peso says, are you an Israelite? I absolutely am not. However, I respect them. I respect the Hebrew Israelites. You know what I mean? I do. They all right. I used to listen to them all the time when they used to be out yelling and screaming at Muslims. I used to love to see them go against Muslims. Hold on.
You have a call from
Troy.
You realize you called me on my phone?
Yeah, listen, man, that's that 55 kicking in, bro.
I looked at the phone like,
That's that 55-year-old kicking in. Plus, I was calling you because Stephen A7 must don't know. You might don't have an ankle monitor, but you got a song for his ass.
Oh shit. Oh shit. All right. Nah, he ain't getting no song. He ain't getting a song for that.
Well, whenever you make the decision to kick that shit out, because that's legendary.
I hear that.
Put you on the map. If you ever make the decision to pull it out, he deserves it. You know, because Steven don't know.
He might have it coming.
The only reason why you got an ankle monitor because they locked you up for assault because they thought you was assaulting his mom when you was with her. You know, so Steven, you better check your DNA. You might be looking at TV at your DNA.
He's hanging in there. What up, gambling addict? Cheryl said. Wait. Steven 7 says, image of Dan riding around on a camel. So, too early for this. Yo. All right, Cheryl says, I moved in with my best friend for a year and a half. Neither of our names were on the lease, but best roommates ever. Still best friends. Well, whose name was on the lease? I moved in with my best friend for over a year and a half. Neither was shit. I mean, somebody had to be on the lease. Find out y'all was both squatting. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we doing? What we doing?
So, you know, there's nothing wrong with being two females living with each other. But we're talking about a man and a woman. When the woman say, you the man, you supposed to pay everything.
Hey, I mean, listen, one thing about moving in with somebody, you need to clearly have expectations laid out. Because if you don't, you'll wish you did. You will absolutely wish you did. Because, you know, people will take advantage of a good situation. You know, my name ain't on the lease, but, you know, because I don't know if you was listening earlier, I was saying, like, you know, when somebody asks you to come live with them, you really got to pay attention to what's going on, because you might ask somebody to come live with you because, you know, you figure y'all getting close and, you know, y'all want to be up under them or y'all want to be up under each other all the time. But some people might take being asked to come live with somebody as an invitation to not have to just stay at a place, but not necessarily have to pay to be there. So you got to have that talk. Like, you know, if it's a situation where you're comfortable paying everything because that's what you were doing before they moved in the first place, that's cool. All right. But that should still be put out there on Front Street from the beginning. So there won't be any, so y'all won't be bumping heads, at least on the monetary issue. Now, the other thing about moving in with somebody, you're not, everybody who moves in with somebody is not 100% by themselves single. What I'm talking about is kids. Now, I've known plenty of situations where women went to a club, met a dude that night, they hit it off, and he moving in within 3 weeks. They haven't known each other a month, and they living together. She got kids.
Yes, she do.
She might have kids, young women or little girls. Now, that's some irresponsible shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's some irresponsible shit, but it happens. And it happens more often than people think about. Like, to some people, just thinking about that shit, they thinking that that's trifling. And who would do that? What kind of mother would subject her young daughters to a mystery man like that? A mother who, you know, is already dickmatized. That's who. She already dickmatized. So she's like, yeah, you know, you can come live with me. Bring your trash bags. It happens all the time. It's not the ideal situation. It's definitely not nothing I would do, but I've seen it done enough time. You know, let me see. Gambling addict claims.
Hold up. You forgot this. What's going on with you today, son?
Feeling like a real man should.
Yeah, man, I gotta hear that, man. So continue, sir. Continue.
Yeah. So gambling addict wants us to believe that he's from, I don't know if he's saying he's from Israel, but he's definitely pro-Israel. But I don't believe that shit. Shouldn't you be somewhere committing genocide?
You're an idiot.
I mean, you know.
Well, what's the name? Should you be somewhere being gambling?
You know, I was saying, you caping for Israel, you should be somewhere bombing a hospital, you know what I mean? Putting seniors to rest and killing children. You know what I mean? Bibi Netanyahu style.
You know what I mean?
You don't give a fuck. Shit is disgusting.
Oh shit, you are crazy, bro.
I'm just saying.
Yes, he asked you if you was an Israelite.
Yeah, I'm saying I mean, but
No, you ain't cursing the white people out on your damn platform yet.
listen, man. You know what I mean? If I was an Israelite, I guess I would. First of all, my voice would have to be a little bit more direct, and I would be reading from the Bible. Everything y'all say, I find a passage for that shit and dispute it. That's what I like about him, actually. Time says, Bob, son Bob, Pops gave me the advice of never moving in. Okay, son. Pops gave me the advice of never moving in with a woman, not unless you are married to her. And even then, she wants to control what you do and how you do it. So make sure you are 100% ready. Hey, I agree. I agree. Now, I can't tell anybody, whether to move in with somebody or whether not to. But I can say for certain that you should be absolutely sure that you want to be with somebody 24/7 a day. Because even though y'all might not be up under each other 24/7, that's how you should mentally prepare yourself. Because that's
Yeah.
basically what you're getting into.
And you must be prepared. Be prepared to be asked a lot of questions.
You think so? Like what?
Where you going?
Mm.
That's number one.
Mm.
Can you make sure you take the trash out?
Well,
Take that chicken out the freezer.
you know,
Help the kids with their homework. There's a lot of questions.
well, see, and when we say it matters whose name is on the lease, those are the kind of things that you have to prepare yourself for, or decide whether you are in control of that or not. If your name ain't on the lease and it's not your spot, and you don't have nowhere else to go, you're probably going to answer questions like where you going or where you been and all of that. Like, I would never be able to survive in a situation like that. You know what I mean? Just keeping it a buck. I don't answer to where I've been and where I'm going. I go where I want to go and whatever. But that's why the whole moving in with each other thing should definitely come with a conversation, clear expectations, and communication. Because if you're not the type of person that easily adheres to other people's rules or requests, you need to know that. And you might not, you're not going to know that about a person in under a month. You're not. You ain't going to know that shit. So you move in with somebody, and you might have moved in with somebody after by leaving a more comfortable, workable situation, and now here you are getting third degree, getting your work papers. You know what I'm saying? Damn near on a chain gang, and all you doing is living in an apartment or house. So you need to, these are the things that you need to take into consideration. Now, I'm not one who subscribes to just because I'm the person who pays the money or I'm the one that's on the lease that I have to run everything. But at least in reverse, I can say that because I'm paying my way here and my name is on the lease, I don't have to submit to any type of abuse or overbearing, overpowering activity. At least I'll be able to say that.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out of, or a friend to talk about it to. Yeah, you better shut up. Shut the fuck up and do the dishes. So it's one of those things. Yeah, I'm I've done the move-in thing twice, and I've learned a lot about myself and about women in both experiences. So what I came away with both is that when I do it the third time, if I do it the third time, that's going to be, I guess you know how they say three's a charm. Maybe it'll be like that because now I know what to expect. When you young and you rebellious and really don't give a fuckish, that's not the time when you're supposed to live with somebody. You know? So, hold on. This motherfucker doing a lot. Let me see.
I'm gambling at it?
Yeah.
Steven.
No, gambling at it.
Well, you know,
Oh, no,
like gambling, even at it. You know. I think he's been sleeping with Steven 87 mom.
Nah. Steven 87 is all right. He's okay. The gambling addict, yeah, he let me fix him.
You're 86 him?
Well, I'm gonna give him 85. And owing one. He was doing way too much.
85.
He was doing way too much. Let me see. Tom says, great question.
He crapped out.
Tom said, great question. Where are you going when you live by yourself? Nobody asked you where you was going, but your mama, your father, and you don't live with them no more. Well, yeah. You know, living with somebody involves compromise. You know, so when we talk about this whole it matters whose name is on the lease, that has a lot to do with, or it might have a lot to do with how far or how well you're willing to compromise. Because if you're really not the type of person that likes to compromise or that likes to listen, like you a hard head and a knucklehead, you better have your name on the lease. JJ Visno says, I'm pretty comfortable doing my own thing. I'm out of my rebellious wild phase, but I'm not sure if I'm not sure I'd want to change or compromise a lot. Exactly. But at least you know yourself. At least you know yourself. There are plenty of men out there that they slide up, they find out that a chick got some good pussy and they like, yeah, I'm down to move in. Because all they want to do is fuck. Yeah.
Wanna fuck you for free.
One time. That was my shit. Peace to Akinelli. What up, Buana? Good to see you, man. Haven't seen you for a while.
Buana. Oh, what's up, homie? That's crazy.
So like I was talking about earlier in the show, when you move in with somebody, you find out a lot about them that you would not find out if you don't live with them. Even if you stay with them for a few days, you're not going to find out exactly what's going on with them like you will if you're there day after day after day. All the time, you know what I mean? Cold chilling. The fuck is he talking about?
That's true.
Yeah, because, you know, like one thing you find out about a person when you live with them is you find out their health issues. You can hide some health issues when you don't live with somebody. But if you
find out a lot,
you're going to find out. You're going to find out.
The smells.
Health and hygiene.
Yeah, health and hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go into the bathroom and she got a potpourri and air spray and air deodorizer, you know she's gonna fuck a bathroom up.
Well, I don't know. Some people just really like Most women I know just like the bathroom to smell really good at all times. You know what I mean? That's a normal thing.
And if you deal with a woman that smokes cigarettes, she's taking the cigarettes in the bathroom with her.
Cigarettes. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, there's a lot that you have to have a debate about when you move in with somebody or somebody move in with you or whoever's name is on the lease. You know, the other person got the name on the lease, you know, they got their name on the lease, and then you turn back around and you furnish the apartment, or you help furnish, you do majority of the furnishing in the house and get things organized. You know, there should be somewhat of an understanding of we're a team. You know what I'm saying?
If your name ain't on the lease, I wouldn't buy no furniture.
Yeah.
Real shit. That ain't a good look. You gonna lose that furniture. And in the end, you know what I mean? That shit is gonna get compromised. It really is. She might put all your shit out on the curb, but she gonna keep that furniture. So yeah, if your name ain't on the lease, I would not put no furniture in there unless you are willing to lose the furniture, which is quite the possibility. Sure. Jay Sloan says a cigarette smoker's bathroom has a very specific smell and no amount of potpourri can hide it. But one thing, well, yeah, cigarettes don't necessarily hide the smell of feces. But you know what does? The flue, the flint from a match. The Israelis taught me that shit back in the day. They go in there, take a dump, and they said just light a match, and that shit suck up all of that shit, and it works. I was like, well, ain't this some shit? Now, why we would find that out? Because we only had one bathroom and motherfucking 15 employees. Shit got very real at times, you know what I mean? Oh man, this little A28. He said, roach on the wall by the white sign. Motherfuckers ain't got shit to do, boy. You know what I mean? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Tom says this. Hold on. Tom says the women back in our days, at least they know how to clean and cook. And I just want a woman. Wait a minute. I just
want a woman, I guess, who knows how to clean her bathroom and kitchen. The cabinets, the refrigerator will tell you a lot about a woman.
Yeah, that's true. Like if the refrigerator is empty all the time, it's because that she greedy as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Juana says the sulfur in the match kills any odor. Yeah, that's a fact. That shit definitely does that. And all those damn Israelis used to smoke. I used to be like, oh my God, you're killing me. You're killing me.
Not my brother's girlfriend's sister. I don't want to relive that.
Okay.
Ain't no matter sulfur or potpourri or anything could have killed that.
Okay.
He was an alien.
All right. Steven 87 says that's why I don't use candles. Pointless. Decent smell, then extinguish them sticks. Okay. Hey, it is what it is. So yeah. You find out a lot about a person's health issues when y'all live together. Like, do they snore loud as shit? You know, mad respiratory issues. Like, do they have to only sleep on one side of the bed because they have a CPAP machine or some shit like that? A lot of people have a CPAP machine. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it.
How he look in the morning? If you never seen that.
But you can know how a woman looks in the morning.
I'm talking about without makeup, or if they take their lashes off and shit like that.
Well,
everybody wearing them damn fake lashes today.
If you spend the night with her enough nights, you'll know. But I'm talking about, I ain't talking about cosmetic things. Because that's going to be the least of your worries. You know what I mean? When you got to deal with somebody that's on your back all the time, nagging you about shit all the time, questioning you about shit all the time, you ain't worried about whether she cute or not. That shit don't fucking matter. Making your life a living hell? Ain't nobody but so fine under them circumstances. At least that's what I'm thinking. But evidently, it's different from person to person. Some people can put up with shit that I could never put up with. So when when you start talking about whether your name is on the lease or not, you're talking about your ability to leave clean or your obligation to have to stay. Your ability to control a situation, or whether or not you have to give way, submit, bow down, stand down. It makes a difference.
Either control the situation or be controlled.
Well, let's say, I don't want to kick it like everybody who's on a lease is a control freak, because many of them aren't. But just because you're not a control freak doesn't mean that you can't make somebody's life a living hell. Some people have habits that they feel like it's their right to exercise in the house. And those things might be offensive to you or a real turn off. Like, for example, if you're dating a woman who has a weave, or maybe not even a weave, you know what I mean? Like the way women keep their bathroom sink, and when the sink has a counter, like, if y'all have like a what do they call that? Not a fishbowl sink. What do they call it? Where the bowl sits on top of the what's it called?
Not the one with the doors at the bottom.
That's
talking about where it just sits on the pedestal sink.
Pedestal sink. If you have a pedestal sink, you in good shape, because they can't store but so much shit up there. But if you have a sink counter, especially a long one, they're gonna take over that shit.
That's theirs.
Man, you got curling irons, bumpers.
That's theirs. Yeah. You gotta be prepared to have a lot of burn marks on it too, especially if they do their own hair.
Thanks, Queen Monica. Appreciate you. But yeah. If you have a regular counter sink, she's taking over that shit. You know what I mean? All of it. What they call them? Curling irons, bumpers. Get used to the smell of hair. You know what I'm saying? And all that other shit that they add into the mix. If she used makeup, it's a wrap. You will never see your sink counter again. And I hope you got some plumbing skills, because your sink is going to be stopped up at least once every 6 months. So there's that. And I hope that you have properly vetted your woman, because, this shit might really get under your skin. But what's worse than being in a situation where you better keep your goddamn mouth shut before you get put the fuck out? What's worse than that? What up, CC? What up, Selena?
That was a real harsh wake-up call.
Hey.
You get the fuck out.
Hey. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Listen. Let's say you not working at the time, but you dating a chick and she like, well, I'll help you out, come stay with me. Yeah, listen, yeah, I mean, you don't have a lot of options. You know what I mean? Money ain't right. She sounds like she's willing to bring you in and let you get back on your feet. Meanwhile, speaking of your feet, she about to do a Bruce Lee roundhouse on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's about to get real, real sick up in there. Hey, man, you ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got no money. She footing the bill for everything. You know what I mean? And I mean, look, man, when you don't even have enough money for a turkey hoagie. Like, you might be inclined to shut your goddamn mouth.
Well, I always tell people this, right? If you can't spend, and if you're going through whatever you're going through, and you don't got a job, and you at somebody's house, you better be doing other things around the house to make sure the house is taken care of. Just don't sit back and think that you can just chill and play your damn Xbox or your PlayStation and just chill all day. If you know how to cook, you better cook. Wash some clothes. Clean that house up. Make sure everything is cool. Because if you ain't doing one thing, you better be doing the next thing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it sound good, but if you ain't working, you ain't bringing in no income, you ain't paying no bills, and you living with a woman.
Saying, if there's a reason why you're not working.
Nonetheless, it depends. This goes back to knowing the person that you moved in with.
You're dealing with, right.
You might not have done that. Maybe you didn't have time to do it. She invited you to come stay with her. You needed the help anyway. Plus, you was getting pussy. It seemed like a good deal. Free ass, room and board. You ain't know. You was going to work. You know what I mean? So yeah, you may cook, clean, do all the domestic shit and all of that. She don't respect that shit. Cause she gonna be looking right at you like, look, you a fucking man. You ain't got nobody respecting you cooking, cleaning and all that. Yeah, all right, that's cool. Money. You need to bring some money up in here. And since I'm bringing no money up in here, I don't care about none of that other shit, Mr. Mom. Fuck out of here. And I'm just saying, that's how a lot of women gonna play it. Some of them will do it. Some of them will do it on a low. Many of them will do it outright. Motherfucker, you got two working arms and legs. You better use both of them motherfuckers. Hit that payment and bring back some. You better go out there, kill an animal and bring back some food. You little gangbanger, you got a gun, don't you? You better bring home some meat today.
I've been there before, bro. I've been there before.
Listen, this shit is real.
I've been there to the point where, like I had lost my job. I got terminated from my job, not because of me, but because of other situations. And while I was in between jobs, that situation popped up, and I was doing that. And what you just said was said to me, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, when you understand that if that person doesn't understand the situation, you're not going to be able to move past that until that situation is ratified. Meaning, you better get a job, and you can't when you're not just going to take any job. You're not going to take any job that's paying $12, $13, $14 an hour. You got to be able to take a job that's going to be beneficial to paying bills and being able to be able to take care of certain situations. So I mean, I can understand where you're coming from with that.
It's not.
I can understand a woman feeling some type of way about that.
Listen. I try to help men out. Because
Let me ask you a question though, son, before you say something. If the shoe is on the other foot, right, and the house is if the house or apartment is in your name, and she loses her job, how that go?
First of all, okay, let's put it this way. All right, so both times that I've lived with somebody, they came to live with me. And both of them had a job. Now, the first time, she didn't make that much, but she was going to school. So I was kind of helping her do that. And the second time, she made more money than me. So just one thing about a woman is just because they make more money than you doesn't mean that they're going to contribute more than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't mean that. You know, they'll get stingy with their shit and, spend your shit. But if in my place, I'm going to pay the majority of the bills anyway, because I've been living by myself before they ever came along. So it's not like that's going to be any type of shock to my system. Now, some people never live by themselves. They have their own place, but they never live by themselves. So if you're the type of person that always is looking for a roommate because you want help with the bills, I get it. Just understand, you're dealing with personalities, and personalities get funny over money. So if my joint had ever lost a job, of course I'm gonna hold down the situation. I'm not gonna shit on you because you lost a job. Because like I said, it's my place. I was already paying for everything. Now if you stay with me, more than likely I gave you a bill to pay. Let's say, all right, you take care of the gas bill, I take care of everything else. You pay the cable, I pay for anything else. That's how I've always done it. Because you just never know. And like I said, I was doing it anyway. So I'd rather just go ahead and stay consistent. I'm like, all right, if you don't have to pay a bunch of bills and you staying in my place, that means you get to keep most of your money to yourself. That means you ain't gonna be in my pockets all the time. It kind of works out. You ain't got no job. Guess what? I'm your income now. I may or may not be with that situation. But that's why it's important to know what you're getting yourself into, or whether you can stand the rain of being up under that person all the time. Because if you can't, it's going to come to the forefront. It's going to be right out there on Front Street. But all of that, you know what I mean? You don't get your shit together and put your ass out, and, you a bum and all that kind of shit. We're not doing all of that. We're not doing all of that. If I don't love you, you're not moving the fuck in. If I don't know you, you're not moving the fuck in. So,
read what I think is on Caltex rap wrote.
When the devil will finish a man who listen, man, I'm not reading all this. I'm not reading.
There's a woman.
Oh, when a devil will finish a man help sins. Oh, I'm not fucking with all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I don't follow the chat all the time.
Quote a Bible verse or something and just creating his own Bible verse.
Kevin says, if ever you lose your job, let her leave. Work on yourself. If she's still there, keep her. If not, work on you so you can keep going. Listen, I don't see no difference between living with somebody and being married.
Well, no. Well, the only thing I'm saying about what you just said, son, is that that's somewhat of a double standard, because if you're living with a woman, she in that situation happens to you, then she's able to say what she want to say out of her mouth to you. But if she's living with you, then it's like there's nothing said.
it's not really a double. It's not really a double standard for me. First of all, I don't believe
I'm
in
not talking about you per se.
okay, but
like,
listen to what I'm
in
saying.
general.
The reason why I have to say it's not really a double standard for me is because I would never be with a woman that I didn't know and that I wasn't 100% sure that I could trust in any kind of financial or emotional situation. I don't fuck around. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not an easy like I wouldn't move in with a person if I didn't know him for a couple of years. Not gonna happen. Not 1 year. Minimum of 2. Minimum. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't have those types of problems because I would already know what it is. You know, both times I've lived with somebody, we was already spending mad nights with each other anyway. It was just now we just gotta divide up drawer and closet space. We knew each, you know what I mean? We knew each other. Ain't no on the job training when it comes to living with somebody. The fuck out of here. Still, even with somebody staying over your house a lot, it's still not full time. You can work full-time hours and still not be a full-time employee. You know what I'm saying? You just a part-timer that is working extra hours.
Right.
So those are things that you have to take into consideration. But when you start talking about it mattering whose name is on the lease, is because that your name being on the lease is your leverage. That's the gun in your hand. That's the knife in your pocket. You know, hopefully you never have to use it. But your name being on that lease prevents anybody from saying that you gotta go. Period. It ain't nothing else to be said. Your name ain't on that lease, you can get put the fuck out. Now, everybody should know that if you have been living in a place and you get mail to that place.
I'm waiting for you to say it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying for those who don't know, if you receive mail at that place, somebody can't tell you that you have to leave. Not legally, they can't. Now you have to ask yourself these questions. Do you want that problem of somebody telling you to get the fuck out and you having to call the cops so you can stay? You really want to stay there? Because I don't think you do. Because you might, being asked to leave or being put out may have been the thing that saved your life. Like, you gonna stay here? Okay. Now, good luck. You right. You are legally still here. All right. You know what I'm saying? What up, Dave Figueroa? So yeah, I don't know if, you know, I don't know if anybody really wants that kind of smoke. Brown Eyes Dunlap was good. I don't know. Yo, y'all hit the like button, y'all. Do me that solid. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. That's the one thing that y'all can do to support the show, the channel. Hit the like button.
The boy Stephen 87 said he's basically saying that the devil will send a woman to finish a man.
Look, man, you know what I'm saying? Look, shit happens between consenting adults, especially when consenting adults make moves without thinking first. When people use their loins instead of their head, it is what it is. But you know, I mean, and how many stories have we heard about somebody flipping on somebody, getting new on somebody? You know what I mean? Becoming a person that they didn't recognize and all of that kind of shit. How many times have we heard stories like that? Plenty of times.
Yeah.
But the question you have to ask is, did you do what was necessary to handle your business? Because your business got to be handled one way or another. You don't want to handle your business, but you dealing with somebody who handles theirs? Okay. For all y'all dudes out there that like them spicy chicks, you know what I mean? Like maybe your mama used to loud talk you and she used to, you know what I mean, pop you upside your head or ridicule certain things that you did if she didn't agree with it. You know, so she kind of remind you of your mom a little bit. So you think it's, you know, all y'all fuckers and fighters, you know, like y'all getting an argument, you know what I mean? Fight. Not necessarily physically, but definitely verbally. All y'all verbal fighters that like to clean it up with a good round of sex. Okay. Just remember, that turned you on, right? That turned you on?
Clean it up with what?
Clean it up with sex. You know what I mean? Fuck.
It's like you say clean it up with a good round of sex.
You clean it up with a good round of sex. You know what I mean? People talk about makeup sex, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. So, you know, people who, you know, one thing about makeup sex is that shit don't end. So you might be dealing with a chick that can't or won't fuck you unless y'all fight first. You might not be willing to do that night in and night out. But you said you know.
And there are women that's like that.
Plenty. And there are men who facilitate it. The shit is cute till it ain't. Till you realize.
Fuck you, pussy. Let's fuck.
Can get a little stressful. You know what I mean? You fuck around, lose your job. Them fights ain't turning into fucks no more. You ain't getting no pussy till you get a job. Then we can fight and fuck. Not until then.
You heard what the boy said. Get a job. That's just the way it is.
Hey, man.
Things will never change.
You know what I mean? Shit is really real. It can be. Shit gets serious.
The song speak for itself. Gwen Gentry said, "No romance without finance. You better have a job if you want to be with me."
Yeah, well, actually, I didn't have no problem with what she said.
Hey, it's the truth.
I mean, you know, starting out with a chick, you gonna start off with no job? Because some dudes will take that they'll take that to mean that, oh, okay. Well, she took me. I ain't had no job when she met me.
It's not even so much he's starting out with no job. It's her accepting him with no job.
I'm saying, they started off. He didn't have a job. She accepted him that way, and now you got yourself a nice little situation. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna deal with it. It's something you gotta deal with. So yeah, man. I mean, you gotta know who you're doing. But that, like I said, that lease situation, that ain't about nothing but handling your business. Now anybody can fall on hard times. Anybody can lose their job. Anybody can get sick. Anybody can, you know, go through a divorce, whatever. There are ways that can make you take a financial hit that can last for a while. But you just have to understand that some people are only under the guise of helping you. They're not really there to help you. They might be there for the total opposite. The stomp on your ass. You know? And you have to be aware of this. You got to be aware of this. So, even if it's in a non-romantic situation, like y'all roommates, supposed to split the rent down the middle. Now, you rooming with this dude or two other guys or whatever, however y'all shit is set up, and you ain't pulling your weight.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you definitely on that lease. But now we got a serious problem here. We got a serious problem because your name is on the lease And that means that somebody else got to pick up your share of the rent. Now watch, one or two of y'all going to run down to that rental office like, yo, such and such ain't, they not paying their rent, blah, 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 blah. And landlord like, yeah, the rent still due. One don't pay the rent still due. That's considered a partial payment. Eviction proceedings will start. You know what I mean? Y'all handle that. Y'all work that out. That's your friend? Help him. Put him to work. Get him a job. You work down there at the plant, don't you? Get him a job.
The boy Tom is doing his text work on this thing. He said men definitely take accountability for the actions, while we give women excuses not to be accountable for theirs. A leader will always take the fall. What is workers?
Okay, but let me ask Time this. Let me ask you this. Do you think it's better for a woman to be on the lease with y'all? Like let's say it was your place and you let your girl come stay in. Would you go down to the rental office and restructure your lease so she can have a name on the lease?
Yes, I would. I would do that. It's like you said, but it depends on how dug in you are and how much you know her.
Okay.
I look at relationship and marriage as a team. I don't look at it as, well, you the man and she's the woman. No, we're together. I don't look at it as, if I fall, what makes a good team is that if one falls, one pick up. If the other one falls, the other one pick up. There's no such thing of who makes the most money and this, that, and the other. All whatever we got to do to make sure everything is cool, we got to do that as a team. That's just how I feel.
Okay. Have most women that you've dealt with believed in the team mentality?
Some. I say, as of late, I only been one. No.
All right. The reason I asked that. The reason I had to ask that is because, men know whether a woman is a team player or not. Men also know if a woman is the type to hold down the fort or hold her man down. I ain't say put him down, hold him down.
It's not like it was never like that. It's not like that never happened. But the thing about it is that it's never happened without complaining or there being a problem. If a person has health issues, there shouldn't be a problem with that situation. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if a person is just being plain lazy, yes, you have every right to ridicule him and demean his ass. Yes, you have every right to say something to him if he's just sitting there chilling and relaxing.
Right.
But if he's going out looking for a job and he's on the internet looking for a job and he's putting out resumes and then he do come home and he cooks his dinner and makes sure everything's done this, that, and other, it's not like he's not doing his part. He's doing his part while looking for a job. And sometimes it's going to take a little bit longer, but the part that he's doing is he's being productive and trying to do what he needs to do. Now we know that type of productivity doesn't pay bills, but it takes a little bit of the stress off of what she does when she comes home. Mm. Now, when he gets back to work, you're going to see the difference in how things are. If he works at nighttime, that responsibility falls on the woman if she works in the daytime. Because that means she's home and she has more she has to do. So now you have to have a little bit more of an appreciation of, while he was home, he was doing this, that, and other. Like per se, I know a person that went to work in the daytime, came home, cooked, helped the boys, helped the children with the homework, cleaned the house, cooked the dinner, put the kids to bed, had their clothes out for the next day, and there was a lack of appreciation for that. You know, even though he was still going to work. You know, so there's when you don't appreciate that, and that can become a problem. Because when you sit back and you don't appreciate a person for that part, you know how hurtful that shit is. So I mean, you don't look for a data boy or a pat on the back, but you do look for some type of respect. You do look for some type of, you know, let me hear you out, or let me see. I see what you're doing, and I appreciate it. You know, because I hate when a person says, "You only doing what you're supposed to do." No, the fuck I'm not. I'm doing what I want to do. Because I know so many men that come home from work and just plop their ass down, play their game, and chill and relax. And when a woman come home, she'll go in the kitchen, cook dinner, and do all the things that she has to do. And look at you and don't say shit. So when a man jumps in the rope,
Here you go with that.
That's
shit.
his part, and go above and beyond doing that baby face after 7 shit. You should appreciate it. Shit, even Luther Vandross. I give you the flowers, the birds, and the bees. Everybody want to give guys shit away.
Well, you know, I think appreciation should always be shown. You know, when somebody does something helpful, or if they contribute in a way that maybe wasn't solicited or whatever. I mean, people should always contribute. Now, whether they do it or not, we already know people are different. But you know, when it comes to the rent, at the end of the day, this is business, not personal. And we don't like to look at it that way, but it is. So the two tenants might not look at it like it's business, but the landlord do. And he don't give a fuck what y'all got going on. He don't give a fuck that you cooked, helped the kids with the homework, clean the house, I don't know, made sure that the cars was running, you know, did an oil change. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
I agree with you on that.
You better you stop your ass down here to the rental office on the first and have my money.
True.
So when
the health, you just said it yourself, when a health issue kick in, there's nothing that you can do about that. Or when let's say hypothetically say, when somebody get laid off, there's nothing you can do about that. The only thing you can do is that person has to. That's why I said a relationship is a team.
Okay, but what we're talking about today is why it can benefit. You know, why it matters whose name is on the lease.
It's on the lease.
You know what I mean?
Why it matters that whoever's name is. What you said is that puts the gun in your hand and the knife in your pocket is what's the most important thing. And you hope you don't never have either party don't have to use that.
True.
You know, and that's the most important thing. You shouldn't never want to use that.
Okay. But Troy, you got to understand what I'm saying. Like, I'm focused strictly on what we talking about as far as it mattering whose name is on the lease, because whatever is happening in a personal relationship, that's one thing. But like, even if your name is on the lease, you could be the one who lost your job.
That's what I'm right, and that's the whole thing I'm saying is that.
So listen, what I'm saying. So hold on.
You're correct at what you're saying. I'm saying you're correct. Okay. So that's the only thing I'm saying. I was just coming up with other analogies because I wanted to have more of an understanding, and I wanted to hear your expertise on, or get more feedback on what you thought about certain things.
Okay.
And then get my feedback on what you were saying.
Okay. So check out what I'm saying. So let's say your name is on the lease It's your spot. Now you move your shorty in. Maybe you moved shorty in with her kids. You know what I mean? You done lost your job, took a hit, a health hit, or some shit like that. You can't work, and your resources have not kicked in yet, or something like that. It happens. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now they not sending text messages saying that your rent is due and evictions proceedings are gonna start happening. They're not sending that to the to your woman or her kids. Their email. They're not sending it to her. They sending it to you. You know what I mean? So, like I said, there are benefits and there are issues that can happen. You know what I mean? With having your name on the lease, because now even if you go ahead, let's say the landlord said, "Well, all right, we taking you to court. We're starting eviction proceedings. You go ahead and move out. He can still get a judgment on you. You know what I mean? You moved out because you don't want to owe him no more. So you thinking in your mind, because you don't understand how this shit works. You thinking like, all right, well, I moved out of his place. I did the right thing or whatever. And, so we good. No, he can still continue with those eviction proceedings and obtain a judgment on you. Now, see what happens is in the immediate sense, it ain't going to bother you at all. Later on, you go buy a car or you go get another place, and boom, what you got there right there on that credit report? You got an eviction. You gotta the interest rate on this the finance rate on this car gonna be high as fuck, or this, no, we cannot approve you to live in this apartment or house or whatever. So yeah, it matters whose name is now. Your woman and the kids, they made a clean break. Yeah, they got to find another place to stay. Maybe y'all all moved out together and got another place. Stayed with somebody's mom for a little while, somebody's sister for a little while. Peace to everybody who know about staying with somebody's mom or somebody's sister. You a grown ass man. You know what I mean? Living at another grown ass person's place. And yeah, even though, Miss Nancy's real nice and all of that, she's side-eyeing the shit out of you. She's side-eyeing the shit out of your ass. Them conversations that happen when you ain't around. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Yo, Miss Nan, I really appreciate you, letting us stay here. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna be here long. Oh, no, baby, you know how, listen, everybody, it can happen to anybody, but you know what I mean? You take all the time you need, everything is going to be okay. That's what she said in your face.
Okay, baby.
Mm-hmm. Soon as your ass ain't around, well, your father ain't never not had no money. He ain't had no money saved up either. Well, damn. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, look, between me and you, I'm going to need y'all to hurry up and get this place, because, I mean, I love my grands. I love them to death, but y'all need to do something.
I like to walk around nude in my house. I like to not worry about, me and your daddy like to enjoy our house.
See, it ain't no problem when it's just a woman and the kids that got to move back home. When it's a whole man with them, even when they marry, like,
you got to put this in there.
Yeah, listen. The longer it takes, the more frustrated everybody is getting. Now other people I'm starting to get involved, because grandmothers can't. Grandmothers can't keep nothing to themselves. She's on the phone telling all her sisters, the ones that's alive, and even the ones that ain't there no more. She praying to them. She going to the. She hold on.
This motherfucker.
Hold on, no.
I'm talking to you.
She going to the grave site like, listen, listen, baby. You know how they talk now, baby. Oh my God, Melissa done moved her man in there with the 3 kids and shit. They done fucked up I had just got my house remodeled. I had just got everything done. I got a grant and got everything done. They fucking up my floors. All of the handles are off of the doors now. All my handles, for the first time in my life, I had handles on all the doors. Bedroom doors, bathroom doors, basement doors.
Ever since the kids was babies, I finally got all the handles on the door.
You know, kids are, I don't know what it is about kids and handles on doorknobs and shit. But you know kids live in the place when doorknobs hanging out, when you got to get out the Phillips screwdriver and tighten up them handles, boy. Yes, this is crazy. It's crazy. Oh, shout out to all of y'all who don't have no doors. You know what I mean? Some of y'all houses don't have no doors. They just got the sheet. Shout out to the sheet. You know what I mean? Knocking on the sheet. Hold on. Yeah. Yo, I know about knocking. Hold on.
With 2 tacks.
Hold on.
3 tacks.
And you can hear the shit. What? Because mommy got company. You know, you don't go busting. You don't go busting in the sheet.
They walk past the room with the sheet.
You do not go busting in the sheet.
Don't be busting into my sheet.
You know what I mean? Don't go busting through the sheet. You know what I mean? Like you performing on stage.
You better put a heavy ass quilt.
Yo, I'll never forget, man. I was messing with this chick. Her room was here, and her daughter's room was right there. And they ain't had no door. They ain't had no doors separate them. She had the sheet up. That little girl knew. Knock. You know what I mean? You see the shit in your peripheral. I'm seeing this sheet move. I'm like, why she ain't just knock on the wood part? She knocked on that sheet. I said, yo, I think baby, yo, man, that shit was, crazy. That shit was crazy. You knocking on that sheet. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all know about the sheet. And y'all know about them, about those door handles too. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Kids is hell on earth with doorknobs.
Earlier Tom mentioned the movie. Remember the movie Disappearing Act?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, he mentioned that. He said that's something like what we're talking about. When Wesley Snipes moved in so quick.
Yeah,
he couldn't do his part.
Hey, man, shit is real out here. Know thyself. Know thyself. Oh, but hit thy like button. Please. Hit thy like button.
Hit thy like button.
Hit thy like button. Tap thy screen twice. Tap thou screen twice, please. Tap thou screen.
Like button and for art thou subscribe.
J.J. Vizno said, what if we got those beaded curtain things? Hey, oh yeah. But you can see through them. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean, you might have to, kids might be trained not to act like they don't see. No, like when you approach the beaded curtain, you just kind of look the other, you know what I mean? Don't violate. Don't violate. You might catch an ass in the air. And it ain't mommy's.
I gotta see that shit again. For art thou, please press. Wait, for art thou, please press the like button.
Yeah, press thou like.
Also, for art thou, please subscribe. Thy will be be blessed from the gods of heaven for doing that.
I hereby bequeath need I need thou tap like button. You know, for all my Spanish speaking, hacer butoni, por favor. Gracias. You know what I mean?
Poppy and mommy.
Shit, you know what I
And
mean?
little Nino.
Hit that like button, y'all. It helps the channel. The channel needs help. Hit the like button. All right. So, Steve 87 says, stop queefing. Stop queefing. But yeah, I mean, this shit is really business, not personal. It just feels personal. It feels very personal, but it's really business.
It's really business.
Yeah, you can't live nowhere for free. I mean, your mom told you that, you know what I mean, back in the day. We didn't know what she was talking about until it got real.
Mom, when you got older, mom said, you gotta pay where you lay.
Man.
That was one of those realest bars in rap that you know, that you found out from your mother.
Mom always said,
you lay instead.
Mom always said, don't smash mutts in the house. Mom always said, don't smash mutts in the house.
Pretty much. When it's time to change, you need to stop that shit, man. For real, man.
Mom always said, don't smash mutts in the house. Them nasty ass little girls. Them fast ass little girls you mess around with. But yeah, man.
The Brady Smuts. The Brady Smuts.
And you know, there's another situation. There's another situation that I want to address before we start to get ready to get on up out of here is sometimes you might help a teenager who's having trouble at their house. I've seen this many times where teenagers are having problems at their mom's house or whatever, and they come and live with a friend of theirs. So, you know, you got parents raising kids that they really just met. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know them like that. But it might be okay with the parents. It might, you know, that they coming from and whatever. But, you know, and that's cool. Maybe when they 14, 15, 16, 17, maybe. But I've seen this. I saw this a lot. Kids were young adults that wasn't adults that do not live home. They live at somebody else's house. That can become a rent issue too. And a lease issue. Because you helping out these kids, but, you know, you might quickly find out, well, this is the reason that you can't stay at your mom's house because you don't like to follow no rules. You don't like to do what you're supposed to do. You know, you think you can sit around the house all day, you know, smoking weed, maybe selling. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yo, I got a story for you, son. Now, you know, my mom was almost on that mother hell tip. You know, everybody knew her, or everybody was always welcome to come get a plate. And sometimes my mom had took over responsibilities of other people's children. And what you just said, she's done it twice. But it was this one that lived across the street from us that she allowed to move in with us, and she was taking care of him. You know, and this was one of my brothers, my middle brother, that's the pastor best friend. And it takes me out because every time we talk about it, he was like, yeah, I ain't no problem with him staying there until Christmas time, and he started taking some of our gifts. And I was like, yo, I think it's time for you to go the fuck home, bro. You gotta go.
Man.
Things change. When things start getting a little bit split down it was already split down 4 ways. Older brother, sister, middle brother, and me. Now there's older brother, sister, middle brother, and me. Kid from across the street that was like, that turned into an honorary brother. But that brotherhood went out the window when Christmas came and birthdays came.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Real shit.
So, I mean, I can understand that part. But the thing is, when a person does that, well, my mom did it because at the end of the day, the people from across the street, you know, she stepped in because one of the wife had passed away. So she stepped in and helped out the father.
Okay.
Because he had other children. And this was the youngest one. You know, so I mean, my mom stepped in for that. But even still, there should have been like, he should have been sending stipends across the street to help with that. Like, here go $50 or here go a couple dollars. You know, you just don't sit up here and let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you're not going to sit up here and break off something, you know. I mean, my mom wouldn't even, sometimes my mom was just so prideful that she wouldn't even accept something like that, though, because, you know, when when you deep in the church, you do things from the heart. And that's what my mom was about. But I can understand what you just brought up, man. That's funny. I just was thinking about with my brother. Every time my brother talk about him.
I mean, because a lot of these cats might have ended up in like a youth study center, you know what I mean, Glen Mills and all this kind of shit. So, you know, a lot of parents have helped out kids like that. But you know, I mean, these cats, they running around here doing grown shit. And then eventually they are fully grown.
Yeah.
So you gonna let a fully grown man that's out here, you know, maybe they stop going to school. You know what I'm saying? You trying to help out. You trying to look out for the youth. But these youth are doing things that adults, I mean, they have the stubbornness of an adult that's doing the right thing.
But let's add this to it. What is the person, the 16, 17, or 18-year-old moving, and she winds up pregnant?
Well, that part. Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of young girls have gotten pregnant and got kicked out of their house for getting pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. And that happened before too. And my mom took on that responsibility. You know, and you know, the neighborhood I grew in was such a close-knit neighborhood that it was like no problem. That was my sister's best friend.
I've seen it happen. We make room being made for extra tenants, even though.
And the shit that happened with that was,
we'll call them occupants.
Doctor appointment, and I was upset. So I told the doctor I was upset. My mom came in, and then the doctor sent me over to talk to a therapist, or somewhat of a therapist or a counselor. So my mom was in there with me, and I told the counselor what was going on. We left. My mom saying, how the hell are you going to go to fucking there and tell them about what's going on in my house? Well, the lease was in her name, so I had to.
Shit is real out here. Shit is rad.
It's hard out here for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So what? She's in your fucking room. She's a girl. So what?
Steven 87 says, it is sad when a woman falls into that trap, going from different baby daddy to different guy repeatedly. Interesting.
Yeah.
All I know is that babies gonna come into this world, whether it's through holy matrimony or not. I know it's more babies being born out here out of wedlock than in wedlock. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
I mean, at some point we're gonna have to just stop the stigma.
No, most definitely.
You know what I mean? Because if it was any sense to it, all these single moms and single dads would pull a majority decision.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, you know what I mean? So, all right, let's have a look at the poll.
But you know what though, son? Before I say anything, I really liked the chat tonight because they were very involved. Very involved, man.
I see. I guess this topic meant something this
This
time.
topic really meant something, man. You really hit a nerve with this topic.
I guess.
You know,
cool.
so I mean, kudos to the man, the myth. Matter of fact, the man, the legend, never a myth because we know about you. Son 752.
Man, I wish they would tell YouTube to stop playing with my algorithm. Let me in.
YouTube.
You know what I mean? All right, let's take a look at the poll. If you have ever lived with anyone, did it matter whether it was your place or theirs? 42% says yes, it has to be my place. And that's definitely the overwhelming majority. 13% said I moved into their place. 21% says both of our names are on the lease. And 25% says moving in together is a bad idea. I respect all of these answers because all of them have their place. And moving in with somebody can be a bad idea. And it's more of a bad idea in my opinion because of the way that people move in with each other these days. Like people just don't get to know each other like they used to get to know each other before. And that causes problems. You know what I mean? You should not be getting to know your wife after y'all get married. You should already fucking know. Now, you know, a lot of people say that if you move in with somebody, then y'all probably will never get married. Well, I know plenty of people that have debunked that. Plenty and many. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, to me, there really isn't. If you living with somebody and you serious about them, there ain't no difference between that and marriage, except for the legality of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that lease does matter because there's a responsibility involved with that. But both people living under that roof should be responsible as well. And if both of them are, then that's gonna build trust between the two. It's not all about somebody trying to kick somebody out or whatever. It's really about responsibility. Being an adult. Even though sometimes young adults or really teenagers, I've known teenagers that had to get their own place. Hey, it happens, man. Some people lose their parents at a young age and they don't have nobody. You know what I mean? So they may have had to, you know, get a remember how I'm sure you knew people when we was in high school, they used to have a work schedule.
Yeah, work schedule.
Yeah. So you got the credits that you needed. They would design your school roster to fit the narrative of you going to work every day. Mm-hmm. So you would leave school earlier, but still be able to get the credits that you needed in order to push you towards graduation. But you know, because some people had kids already. Some people had
kids, or like you said, mom passed away and stuff like that,
or was too sick.
Taking care of their brothers and sisters.
Yeah. They parents might have been too sick in order to take care of their siblings or them. You know what I mean? They may have had. That's the legit way of when they say that people had to grow up too soon. Sometimes it's not your choice about whether you could hang out or not. You know what I mean? But shout out to any and everybody that's ever been through that, because that's a tough situation. But you know, when we're talking about responsibility, that's what we're talking about. You know, and when you learn responsibility at a young age, it sticks. You know, when you learn survival at a young age, the good survival. I'm not talking about being out there selling drugs or stealing shit or, you know, taking chances on your freedom in order to survive. But I mean, not everybody is brought up that way. Some people are just taught to be resourceful, ask questions, ask for what they want, go for what they want, work hard, you know, work their way up the the corporate ladder, or should I say the employment ladder? Yeah, that's better. Work their way up the employment ladder and do their shit. Shout out to all of the brothers and sisters who took care of their brothers and sisters. Literally had to do it. Shoot.
And blessings to all of them.
Mm-hmm. And they had to pay that rent. Their name was on that lease. Or even when it wasn't. You know, like, shout out to everybody, anybody and everybody who grew up in the projects. Your mom or your grandma might have had a project apartment. They passed away. Y'all ain't tell housing that the parents passed away because y'all needed to still stay in the place. So you just kept paying the rent like everything was good. That shit might have went on for a few years till housing found out and put y'all out or gave y'all another apartment. But that's a lot of red tape. It ain't as easy to get into the projects as people think it is. And no, I've never lived in there and hopefully never, ever will. But it is what it is. This boy said I have a similar voice as Stephen A. Smith. No, the fuck I don't.
Get the fuck out of here.
Motherfuckers come over here saying anything and shit. You're not wrong. I mean, you don't have to say that.
Jimmy Billy. Yeah. You, Jimmy Billy. You're lying.
Yeah, man. Stephen A. Come on, man. And Tom said something about some facts. And don't forget Mama putting the phone bill and that heat bill in your name instead of her name. Oh, shit. That's a whole nother show, my dude.
Oh, yeah,
man, listen. There are a whole lot of 8-year-olds that already got fucked up credit.
They turn 18, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Trying to get credit. They be like, you can't get no credit. Your credit's fucked up.
Luckily, you can petition to the IRS because I had to do it. My dad had put a bunch of cribs in my name when I was like 2 or 3. My credit report was on some bullshit. When I was 18, my credit report, I was like, the fuck? Like, yo, I was 2 in 72. How'd I own 4 buildings?
You was working hard in the womb.
Yeah, I'm saying that shit was crazy. But yeah, all you gotta do is petition and send in your birth information and they can clearly see that somebody was using your social security number and they'll go ahead and that's one thing the Social Security Administration will do. They will go ahead and clear your name so you can fuck up your own credit, and you will. If you come from credit being fucked up, you will revisit that shit at some point. You will revisit that shit.
As soon as they seen it, they fixed it. As soon as you left, you say, have a good day. We'll see you later.
Look, what they say? There's no guarantees in life except for death and taxes. Well, don't forget a fucked up credit report because that's a guarantee. Yeah. Anybody who has a good credit report from the time that they're young all the way until they're a senior, I ain't fucking with them. Like, I don't even want to have nothing to do with nobody that's that straight. Like, yo, what the fuck are you, an alien? Fuck out. You an agent. You're an agent.
You an op.
Oh, look at this bitch ass nigga. All right, let me get the fuck out of it. You get the fuck out of here. You got to go.
Glory hole guy.
You know what I mean? You got to go.
Man, only glory hole you know about is your mom.
Yeah.
And hallelujah to what she did with both of them.
Su madre. Look, this bitch ass motherfucker, I put him on timeout for a half an hour. He said he waited that shit the fuck out. All right. He waited it out like.
What are you talking about?
Let the other find this.
Would you put him on timeout?
Yeah, I timed him out for like a half an hour. That motherfucker said, I'm finally back. Hi, guys.
I'm coming back and I'm going to text my bullshit.
Well, I got time to him out for another half an hour, and now I'm about to do these birthday shout-outs and beat the fuck on the potty. He can come back in when we going. You know what I mean? He can have the swings, the merry-go-round, and the slide board all to himself.
Wee!
Let me see him go walk that seesaw. One of the hardest things to do is the seesaw all by yourself. And if he can do that, I put him on the squad.
And let him go enjoy. Let somebody mess with his glory, old dumbass. Say some stupid shit. But bro, love you, man.
All right, man. Yo,
love the damn live stream. Everybody be safe, be blessed, enjoy your day.
Without a doubt.
Hey, stay stress free, and me and you gonna talk later on today, bro.
I got you, Troy. Thanks for coming through, as always.
Always, man.
All right, peace. All right, y'all, let's do these birthday shout-outs. We have some birthday shout-outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious September 1st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. Tiger Crane Shakir, my man. Happy birthday to you. And also Rochelle Satchel, Talisha Colbert, Camille Miller, Thea McCants, Charmel Connolly Ross, and last but not least, Greg D. Moore. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious September 1st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on into the damn, rock out, rock on into the damn, rock out, rock on into the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, yo, your name is on the lease. Yo, you gotta make sure that you keep it sweet. Cause sometimes when you're messing around with your girl, she will turn around on you, do a twirl. And you gonna be out there like your man Earl. Yo, you can't get no money, can't get another girl. You might have to go back to the crib, yeah, where you grew up, yeah, where you used to live. And ain't nothing worse than having to go back home when you feel like you're on your own. But at the sound of the tone, yeah, you even couldn't pay the bill on your phone. Hard times can't visit anybody. Yeah, that's whether you got yourself an ugly one or a hottie. Yo, our body is something that you ain't trying to really catch. You ain't trying to let your money stretch. You got to watch the things that you do because bad luck can either always follow you. So what you going to do when your time comes? Are you going to stand around with your hand on your face looking dumb? Yeah, your hands in your face in your hands, you're crying, and you feel like you have been emasculated, told you to get the fuck out of the crib, and you hate it. Put everything out on the curb, even the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, you heard. Yeah, I know it's sweet, but it's going to be like that. Yo, it's not a treat. And I say that is a hard thing for you to ever get used to not being the king. And I know that one day that you was really the man and you was doing all your shit like $100 grand and you stand 10 tones down. Now you looking all around and yo, yourself, you can't find. Or should I say found, fine, you know, understand? I just go for yours, make sure that I always go for mine. It's time for us to grow up no matter what your age. It's time for you to burn that shit, smell smelling like sage, just smelling salts, maybe even a little chlorophyll, chloroform. You know what I'm talking about, it's soft and warm. One day you're going to find a shorty for you. It might be a hell of a woman and you're going to get her through the hard times that you used to have. And you going to look back at these hard times that you're having now and laugh and be like, damn, yo, shit was really tough. And I'm like on some shit like an 8 is enough, because you had a lot of kids, had a lot of biz that you had to do. You wasn't in jail, but the shit was kind of on some real shit for real. And yo, you got to do what you got to do, skills to pay the bills. And I'm going to see y'all tomorrow night, Tuesday night, yo, 2 o'clock. You know how we get right. But do me a little favor before y'all go. Hit the like button, tap that screen a couple of times, yo, and make sure that the sign gets lit. And I'll see y'all tomorrow and shit. Peace to you, your kids and your wife. And can't forget your mom and your dad if you still have. And hopefully they still alive and well. And if they are, yo, tell them I said hi. Do tell. I'm going to get on back. We going to make sure making kind of money and stack. Keep the bills paid. Make sure you pay your rent. And if you got a mortgage, yeah, your niggas is having sent. Ownership is something that we should all practice. And you might not be able to do it right now, but don't be an actor. Yo, you know you're going to need it one day. So start saving up your pennies and do shit the right way. All right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night at 2 a.m. in the morning. 2 a.m. in the morning. Every day, 2 a.m. And hold on. Matter of fact, hold on. I ain't got to do it like that. I can do it like this. I got the real shit. Okay. And with that being said, make sure y'all hit that like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. See y'all tomorrow, man.